Good day, everyone. This is Sir Albert, and for today, I'm going to give you an orientation on LaTeX. In this video, we're going to cover the following topics. First, what is LaTeX? Then, why are we going to use LaTeX? I'll then give you examples on using LaTeX codes, and finally, I'll give you instructions on how to go about your exercises on using LaTeX in Schoology. So what is LaTeX? First, we take note that it is pronounced as LaTeX. Some people would pronounce it as latex, which is fine, but you don't pronounce it as latex. So LaTeX is a coding system that allows, among others, to format mathematical symbols. Some of the commonly used mathematical symbols that we will be having would be a fraction, like 3/4, the use of exponentiation, like in the expression 5x squared. And then when we answer word problems, it is common for us to give the answer together with a label, such as 2 cm, or sometimes you would need to input 2 cm. Here, I'm also going to differentiate two kinds of presenting your answer as a label. You can present your answer as 2 cm, which is going to be a label that involves a mathematical symbol, or 2 cm, a label wherein you're going to make use of plain text. Why use LaTeX? LaTeX coding allows conversion of mathematical symbols or formats into text. Just like the previous example on using fractions, such as 3/4, we would like to find a way to convert this output into text format. Converting mathematical symbols or formats into a standard text format would allow automated checking in Schoology. In effect, we're going to use LaTeX so that our answers, which may be fraction in form, such as 3/4, would have an equivalent text format that can be inputted in Schoology. Once this is in text format in Schoology, then Schoology can enable automatic checking of such an answer. For our first example, consider the question, what is 2/7 plus 3/7? Using our concept of similar fractions, 2/7 plus 3/7 is equal to 5/7. Given that such is an answer, the question then is, how do you present such formatted output in Schoology? So for an answer like 5/7, we would like to convert this into a text format, which we could key in for our answer in Schoology, and once it is in text format, Schoology can then process automated checking. To make a LaTeX code for creating fractions such as 3/4, we are going to make use of the website www.hostmath.com. Let me launch my browser first, and then type hostmath.com. Here you see the web page hostmath.com, which is an equation editor that would help you make LaTeX codes. Here's a screenshot of how hostmath.com looks like. Here, you would basically see three screens. The first screen, this screen here, I would call this as the templates window. The second screen here, I would call this as the input window. And the last screen here, this one I would call as my output window. The templates window would allow you to create the code for making different math symbols. If, for example, you'd like to create a radical, then you would have to press this template. If you would like to create a fraction, then you would have to press this template. As you press each of this template, then the corresponding code would appear here in the input window. And whatever you input, then that would be shown on the output window. How it's going to be formatted would then be shown at the output window. Let me give a quick demonstration of what I was talking about. I would like to create a fraction 5/7. To do that, I would make use of this from the templates window. So first, let me erase everything in my input window. And then to create the fraction 5 over 7, I press this from the templates window. Pressing this would give you the LaTeX code for making fractions. And that's something you would see here at the input window. You can verify in the input window that the code \frac curly braces AB curly braces CD would give you this output from the outputs window AB over CD, which would only mean that in the code, AB refers to the numerator, while CD would refer to the denominator. So, to create the fraction 5 over 7, I replace AB, the numerator, with 5, and the denominator CD, replace it with 7. So based on the demonstration, the way we're going to input our answer of 5 over 7, it's going to be \frac curly braces 5 curly braces 7. This is what we are going to input in Schoology for an answer of 5 over 7. Let's take a look at the second example. What is 2x times 3x? Using the laws of exponents, the product of these expressions is 6x squared. So in the same way, given that this is our answer, how do you present such formatted output in Schoology? So let's take a look at HostMath.com again. To generate the code for an expression such as 6x squared, then we would need to make exponents. Here on the templates window, we would make use of this command. Clicking on this would give us the command for making exponents. A caret curly braces B. Verify here in the output window that this would refer to A raised to the B power, wherein A refers to our base, while B is our exponent. So, since we want to create 6x squared, then x is our base and b is our exponent, which would create x squared. So finally, we just add the coefficient of 6 at the start of x. So here then is the code for 6x squared. So for an answer such as 6x squared, the LaTeX code that we're going to input in Schoology is going to be 6x caret curly braces 2. This is what we're going to input in Schoology. Example number 3. What is the perimeter of a triangle with side lengths 1 cm, 2 cm, and 4 cm? Since the perimeter of a triangle is derived by adding all the side measurements, then the perimeter of this triangle is going to be 1 plus 2 plus 4, or a total of 7 cm. Given that this is our answer, how then do we present such formatted output in Schoology? So let's take a look at HostMath.com again. To create a code for the answer of 7 cm, all we need to do is to key in the character 7 cm. Take a look at the output in the output window. We would see here that cm appears in italicized form. This is exactly what we want, since cm is not an English word, but rather it's a word that has a mathematical meaning. But the only problem here is that we would like to put a space in between 7 and c. We would like to separate the number from its label. Take note that even if you put space in between 7 and c here in the input window, such as this, the output remains the same. There is still no space in between 7 and c. So to do that, to explicitly put a space in between 7 and c, we make use of the code \space. Take a look at now at the output window and notice that there is now a space in between 7 and c. So the code to create the answer 7 cm is going to be 7 \space and then another space cm. So the code for creating the answer 7 cm is going to be 7 backslash space and then put a space and the word cm. This is what you're going to input in Schoology. Example number 4. How many days are there in a year? So we all know that there are 365 days in a year. So the answer is going to be 365 days. Given that this is the answer, how do you present such formatted output in Schoology? In particular, how do you create a code that would include a label such as days? So we take a look again at hostmath.com. For the answer 365 days, we first start by typing the characters 365 days. Take a look at the output window. The word days appears in italicized form. This is not what we want. What we want to appear in italicized form are non-English words that have mathematical meaning. But days, it's an ordinary English word. So we don't want days to appear in italicized form. So to be able to do that, or to be able to create labels that appear as normal text, we make use of the code backslash text. Backslash text, open close curly braces. So we would put days inside the curly braces. Note that now on the output window, days is no longer in italicized form. We just have to adjust this so that there is a space in between 5 and the label days. So we would just need to put a space before D. Therefore, the code to create the answer 365 days is going to be as such. So the LaTeX code for the answer of 365 days is 365 backslash text, curly braces, and then we put a space to separate 365 from the label days. This is the code that you're going to input in Schoology. Take note that there are many codes that would generate the same output. For example, if we would like to have the output of x squared, one LaTeX code that will be able to do such is x caret curly braces 2. There are other codes that will be able to produce the same output. For example, if you increase the pairs of curly braces, such as x caret and then 3 pairs of curly braces, it would also produce the same output of x squared. Another example, if we would like to produce the output of 2 meters, one LaTeX code that would be able to do such is 2 backslash text, curly braces, the space, and then the word meters. Another code that will be able to produce the same output is 2 backslash space, backslash text, curly braces, meters. Since there are many codes that will be able to produce the same output, as a rule of thumb, we're going to observe that the least number of keystrokes is the one that we're going to use for Schoology. So that means for x squared, between LaTeX code 1 and LaTeX code 2, we are going to use LaTeX code 1 since it is the one that has lesser number of keystrokes. In the same manner, for 2 meters, between LaTeX code 1 and LaTeX code 2, we are going to use LaTeX code 1 because it is the one that involves lesser number of keystrokes. For your exercises, go to Schoology and look for the activity that's labeled Latex Orientation 1. So please accomplish that one, and if there are any questions, feel free to contact your respective teachers. That's it, everyone. Thank you for watching.